What is good, people? We are back. Happy Friday to everybody. TGIF. And it's your boy Try, Young Storm, the homie Capo, Young Capo with us. This is Raw Takes Unfiltered on YouTube. And man, we got a special show tonight, man. I'm loving this. This is going to be epic. This is going to be for the culture and having, somebody that I know personally and just being around them, and this is gonna what he's doing for the culture is gonna be great, and I can't wait to speak to him. And Nick, I told you about Ray Lansky from Jersey, and what he's creating right now is definitely needed for hip hop culture. And I've actually seen the first part of what we're gonna be talking about with him, and it's phenomenal.
Yeah, I can't wait. He said he's gonna send me a little private link so that
Yep.
he can show me. But I'm excited. I love documentaries, always have, because that's how you learn. That's where you learn how people came about and what got them into the passion. And to me, that
Right.
is more important than sometimes the body of work, because you see the struggles they took to get there and all that. So I actually love it, and I love that he's repping Jersey the way he is and everything like that. So it's gonna be a fun one.
Yep.
Once he comes in, we will jump him on. But anyways, Jersey. Speaking of Jersey,
Mhm.
how do you feel? I know a lot of rappers, they'll say something like Jersey's separate part. Growing up, I always kind of put them together because the
Right.
the boroughs are so close.
Yeah.
Do you feel the same way, or do you feel like Jersey always been its own entity? I've always felt like it's just always been a piece of New York,
Mhm.
but I know I'll probably get yelled at for it, and that's fine. But to me, growing up and listening to hip hop all the decades and
Right.
generations,
Yep.
I've always looked at Jersey like they were part of like the birth of our
Right.
culture.
Right.
So, how do you feel about it when people say that, or how do you feel in general?
I've always thought that it was like the tri-state area. It was New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Philly. I always thought it was just all of us together. Apparently, it wasn't always like that. And I think
Yeah, I guess
that
not.
I think that's part of the reason for him doing this docu-series is because it's to salute the Jersey artists in that area. That's that whole state. But I mean, coming up, when Queen Latifah first came out, and him and Nikki D and the Fugees and so many other great artists
Oh,
from
Raw
that
Digger.
state. Rod Dick,
Oh,
yes, gotta
when I
mention Rod Dick.
first heard Raw Digger, what?
Yeah, uh huh.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I always thought it was like all of us together, like the East Coast, and apparently it's not like that. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's something that I learned watching this documentary.
Yeah, especially like when you think about it, every time you heard Jersey, they always shouted out New York. Every time you heard New York, they always shouted out Jersey. And the
Right.
same with Connecticut, because I'm from Massachusetts. So I always felt like we were part of the borough too, because
Mhm.
like when my man used to get in trouble, he from New York. He used to
Mhm.
flee down to Massachusetts, stay at the crib, let shit cool down, and then go back up. So to me, we were always kind of like one entity.
Right.
So I'm really curious to ask Ray that question when he jump up
Yes.
in here. He did say give him about 10 minutes, so we will fill in the time until he gets here. But trust me, you don't want to miss this one. It's going to be
Definitely.
fun, amazing show, especially talking about Jersey as just separately. A lot of people don't really talk about that. You got some legends that have came out of Jersey for sure.
Oh yeah.
But I remember when I first heard, besides them saying the name in the song, for some
Mhm.
reason I always felt like the Lost Boys were always like a little part of Jersey. I know they're from putting Queens on the map. I get that, but they always had that vibe of New
Mhm.
Jersey. You know what
Right.
I mean? And every time I used to roll through Jersey, I would hear that. You know what I mean? Like you would think about that and be like, damn. Because I used to just take long drives and I would just cross coast. I go to New
Right.
York, I go to Jersey, I go to Connecticut. When I was a teenager, man, I was all over the place when I got my license. And
Right.
then having a fast car,
Mhm.
I used to street race.
Oh
So
man,
I always have fun, you know what I mean? And I never really got into anything with anybody, but it was a damn fun time.
yeah,
I wish
yeah,
I knew what language that was, but
yeah.
shout out to you.
I don't know what that is. I only speak
I
it.
don't know. I don't know either, but I wish I had English translator.
Oh man. But yeah, I've seen a couple of Jersey Legends live. I actually saw a couple of Jersey Legends at the Rock the Bells festival last summer. Redman, first time ever I saw him, and Naughty by Nature. Well, I saw Tretch because he made an appearance during the Redman set, and it was great, man. They have a lot of energy. Was hyping the crowd up out there in Jersey, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah, they've always had that kind of energy though. Not it's naughty by nature in general. They,
Yeah.
aside from Tretch, I
Hmm.
mean, they always had that live energy that we gonna bring you in, we gonna make you feel this, we're gonna
Yes.
have you enjoy what we are doing, not
Yeah.
just be. I've seen shows where people are just they ain't rocking with it.
Hmm.
I've been to plenty of nightclub performances with artists, and we're just standing around. I'm like, see, if that was certain people, you wouldn't have that shit. Like, you ever think, would you ever see a DMX crowd just standing there, or Red and Meth crowd just
Right.
standing there?
Just standing there.
Even Chino XL, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like, I've never seen him have a crowd just,
Right.
they always live. Chino was always live. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. It's so many. It's so many Lords of the Underground. I love their music, and Apache, rest in peace. He had a big hit record in '93. You know, like I said, like Rod Digger, the Outsiders. It's so many legends that don't get the recognition. And I
Yeah.
feel like once people see this docuseries, this is something that is gonna bring a lot of heads aware to the artists from New Jersey.
You know what else? I hope that it's in here. I might ask him that, but like I would like to see where back in the days where
Mhm.
their battlegrounds were. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Where they used to do the battles like in the clubs.
Yeah.
Cause we used to have that in Springfield at this place called Aquarius.
Mhm.
And we would have battles. And then we would do it sometimes in the back of the Hippodrome when we couldn't get in the club because the Hippodrome always had a line. Cause it was
Right.
always that's where 50 Cent got into his beef in Massachusetts with
Mhm.
somebody throwing a bottle at him,
Right.
and 50 jumped into the crowd. No hesitation either.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I always say when people say 50 bitch, I'm like, I yeah, that man dove into the crowd right away. There was no like security couldn't do anything. They're stunned. So, but we
Right.
used to do battles in the back of Hippodrome. We used to have fun, you know what I mean?
Right.
Sometimes they would turn ugly depending on what block you were, where you were, but you just kind of had to know what to and not to say.
Right.
Um,
Right.
hell yeah, D-Ray, I feel you on Saturdays. We used to totally go to different states. Yeah, man. I
Right.
mean, I lived on my own at like 15 and a half,
Right.
16. So it was like I was out, and
You
I was gone. I was gone. As soon as I got a car, man, I was out. Even when I was
out.
only on a permit, I never cared. I drove on permits. I've drove on suspended licenses. When I was young, I was stupid.
Right.
I can't do that now,
Right. Right.
CDL,
Mhm.
but I'd be arrested. Driving a tractor trailer with no license or a
Right.
suspended license, you definitely getting shut down. They ain't letting you go
Wow.
nowhere.
You was wilding
So,
out.
oh hell yeah. They be wilding, especially
Yeah.
nowadays, with all the shit going on, man. Cops be on us in tractor trailers. It don't matter what company, what. They're on you.
Right.
There's
Right.
too much going on. It's too much movement. Shit, this is back in the days. I'd have been moving bootleg CDs on pallets.
Oh
But
man.
nobody likes bootleg shit anymore. You know what I mean? I
Right.
miss those days, man.
Yeah.
That's how I first heard of the Outsiders. I
Outsiders.
didn't even know, besides MTV Raps, when
Right.
I first like got to officially hear the Outsiders, I heard it because of Redman off of
Redman.
Redman's album. And I
Right.
was just like, and then the Fugees album, and I was like, okay, I gotta get up into what is going on here.
Right.
And then boom, I fell in love, especially that first album, The Brick.
Mm-hmm. I actually have that one,
Woo!
the bricks here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I used to have the CD,
Salute. There
but
he is.
you know what I
All
mean?
right.
Yeah,
You gotta
he's
respect
coming.
the
He's
legend.
coming.
What up? Come on here, Ray.
Yeah, he's coming. That's why I highlighted him. He's coming. But this is what happens when you run a show. People run late. It's all good, man. We're gonna be here. We're gonna keep it going.
Yeah.
Um, Speaking of, please tell me off the subject real quick. Please tell me you heard Conway's album.
Yeah, I did. It's, you know what? It made my list, my album of the year list. I did.
Yes,
It's
my
definitely one of the best.
God.
And the song, was it Hell Let Loose with Yayo and Who Kid? Fire. That's my joint.
Mhm.
That's my joint.
Yo, he blessed that album top to bottom.
Yes.
There's really not a skippable track. Even the more meaningful ones just caught me off guard, because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes those meaningful songs where they put their heart into it,
Yeah.
and it's not just all that street shit.
Yeah.
People don't want to hear it. You know what I mean?
Right.
They don't want to jump in. So when I listened to him, he went deep. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I appreciate it. Yo, everybody, if you haven't heard Conway the Machine's
Yes.
album, it's
Definitely.
definitely fire.
For
His
sure.
vinyls have been selling out
Mm-hmm.
on his website.
Yeah.
Cause I be popping up on his website because he be having some crazy looking
Yeah.
CDs and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And his vinyls, man, his shit be sold out quick.
Facts.
So you got to get up on them vinyls when
I know, man.
when you want it, because
Yeah.
vinyls have made a strong comeback thanks to like
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
I know Floyd is another big
Like that.
collector.
Oh, Courthouse Flicks. Yes. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just posted an Instagram earlier showing
Mhm.
a couple of little rap
Yeah,
records.
I saw him. I told him, like, yo, when you get your collection up, me and you got to battle.
Well, can't nobody battle with you, man. You got crates and walls and shit. Fuck out of here, man.
Oh, don't do that.
Don't do that. That's like somebody trying to battle me and gangster shit. When it comes to
He
gangster,
told me to, bro. Floyd told me the same thing. I'm like, bro, we can have like a nice little mild battle. It don't gotta be nothing big. You know what I'm saying?
Well, D-Ray got to be the host.
Yes, definitely. A little 5 album round. That's all.
5 out. Yo, D, let's put this together, man. Floyd, I'll get Floyd in. Floyd
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We'll have
Yeah,
some
man.
fun with that. But you just want a vinyl battle, man, huh?
I want to be on. I told D I want to be on the show in some capacity, man. I need to be on it. You know what I'm saying? I need to be battling somebody.
I wanted to do a battle one time where it was just strictly gangster movies.
Right.
And for me, I separate it, but
Mhm.
I would combine, because I separate mafia movies and gangster movies, but I would combine them all because I guarantee you I got the biggest collection when it comes to that.
I know you
Ain't nobody got like shit you never even heard of, shit from Korea, shit from Japan. You just what is that?
Wow.
Yeah, go watch it.
Wow. It's crazy.
So,
yeah. I know you be recommending gangster films to people, so
yeah, I do that a lot. But unfortunately, when you do recommendation videos, people pretend to like it, but they don't go and actually like watch it.
Right.
I've told people over and over, Gotti is one of the greats, and nobody has watched it. Yeah, I'm not saying nothing. I'm not saying nothing.
I'm gonna watch it. I forgot. I'm gonna watch it. I definitely will.
No, I get it, man. Life is
It's
crazy.
It's on my watch list. I'm gonna watch it. There's a lot of movies from last year that I'm still watching now, so I'm definitely gonna watch it.
Yeah, I still gotta see F1. Like, I want to see that joint.
I saw F1. That was good.
And I haven't seen that one yet. And it's only on Apple, and I'm not gonna be subscribing to all these damn. I got too many subscriptions as it is.
Right.
So I don't even want to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as what was your favorite rap documentary that you've seen?
Ever or just like recently?
Yeah, no, like ever.
Ever. I really.
And we got my man Ray up in here. Oh no, he disconnected. All right.
I'm gonna ask him this too. I really love Rhyme and Reason. Rhyme and Reason was good. The show.
Yes.
The show. I went to see the show when that came out. That was in '95. That was good, and then I ended up buying the soundtrack later. But just like the behind the scenes stuff with Wu-Tang Clan and with Biggie and Warren G. going on tour at that time. It was phenomenal.
Brother Ray,
Hey, what's
what is
good?
good?
What's going on, fellas? Peace,
Dylan,
fellas.
what's up?
And peace,
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 Salute.
man.
peace, peace. Salute,
Look at
salute.
him, look at him over here looking all dapper Dan, man.
Yeah.
Jersey
Yes.
represent, huh?
I
Huh?
gotta let
All right.
people know this man is a true. When you hear about like uh, uh, uh reciting lyrics and bars, this man is the king of doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like you mentioned the song, and he could right away recite a verse from any song that you know. You know what I'm saying? He's a hip hop historian. He's a barber. He's coming out with a phenomenal hip hop docu series with You Gotta Respect the Legends and Verse Gods. This is Ray Lansky from Jersey. Salute, bro.
Yo, salute, man. Salute to both of you guys, man. Both you kings, man. Listen, I'm just happy to be here. I highly appreciate the opportunity. You
Yeah,
know,
man.
I already fuck with the energy. You know,
Thank
that a part of me. I just came from work.
you.
I had
Okay.
to sneak a
We
little
get
little
it, man.
meal in. Sneak a little meal in and just get right. Just
Right.
get right. So my bro, Charburo had some great things to say about you. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I already fuck with your energy and your vibe, so that was already a head start for me. So salute to you, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. And actually this is the first time we meeting, so all of y'all get to see it live.
Yeah.
Talk to him backstage. Brother's definitely somebody that I could relate to because culture is culture.
Hmm.
And hip hop has always been a part of culture, just like some
Right.
R&B music, jazz music, blues music. Culture is everything around you that you want to make positive. So,
Hmm.
we're in that year right now where we've been saying, Ray, that negativity just ain't going, we ain't
Right.
gonna be in that, man. And um the documentary, I'm so looking forward to even checking that out because I am huge on documentaries. You don't even want to see the wrestling documentary collection I got.
You
But
said
I
wrestling?
mean, oh yeah, I got wrestling documentaries. I've got hip hop documentaries, R&B, singer Jay-Z's. I got 3 autobiographies by Jay-Z on DVD, and for no fucking reason because they're basically fan made. I do have the 20th anniversary of Reasonable Doubt one, which I
Hmm.
thought was well put together, but that's the kind of documentary that I like, where you get deep, where you get to see what people actually went through, what they go through, how they think a song is amazing, but to other people, oh, that shit was trash. And that's the one thing in hip hop that is the biggest culprit. If you're not spitting these, I'm gonna kill you, kill this. All the brothers that spit soul always get pushed to the side. So I've been really trying to go back and indulge into those older albums, you know what I mean? Because we weren't paying attention back then. If it wasn't hype, we didn't want it.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So I've been diving a lot into the old shit. And like I was telling Triborough, Conway the Machine's new album is
Yeah,
amazing.
definitely.
Amazing. So, but anyways, I just asked Triborough what his favorite documentary as far as hip hop goes. What is yours?
Mine's damn, can I
It's
have
a
Before
good
before
one because
before
there's
you
a
get to
lot.
that question, we got to start from the beginning. Like before all of that, we got to start like tell people a little bit about your upbringing in Jersey and what made you become a barber, and then your transition into doing this phenomenal docu series. People's gonna see.
All right, appreciate it. Just don't lose that question because I don't want to forget. And to be
Yeah,
honest with you, I had maybe more than one, so I'm
yeah.
not sure if that was okay for but um, so I'm just gonna get to it. So of course, for those who don't know, I go by Ray Lansky, exclusive barber, um, documentarian of You Gotta Respect the Legends of Hip Hop Legacy docu series, and how it all started. Well, certain things in life. One thing I've learned being on this earth: certain things in life you choose, and certain things in life chooses you. Right?
Right.
Mhm.
We can start with the barber upbringing, North Jersey, whatever. My parents met in a barbershop.
Oh, that's fire.
My parents met in the barbershop. They had the same barber. My mom used to get her eyebrows done by Mr. T in North South Orange Avenue, the same hood that Redman and Do It All from Lords of the Underground are from. So it's from that neighborhood. And, I grew up, I was born in Newark. I grew up in North Carolina first because, shortly after I was born, my mom got sick. So my family in North Carolina raised me first. And believe it or not, I never said this before on any platform, but I actually listened to hip hop first in North Carolina before I discovered it in Jersey.
Wow.
So my first time listening to hip hop, people would assume because I'm from Newark, New Jersey, that I've heard it first in Newark, New Jersey, but it was actually North Carolina, and I was kind of I was raised in hip hop as a baby. Like I had some people in high school that didn't listen to hip hop until high school or even after high school. So I was such a baby listening to hip hop. By the time LL dropped, and I was only 7 years old. By the time LL dropped, I analyzed his style, and I can tell that some of his style was influenced by Run from Run DMC and MC Shan from Queensbridge.
Mm-hmm.
So I was pretty much deep in hip hop. And this is gonna fuck your head up too, especially Triborough.
Yeah.
Triborough, he mentioned about me reciting verses and things of that nature. And we all know people who recite verses day in and day out.
Right.
But I'm gonna tell you this, something that I never said before, but I've been quoting music since I was in diapers. That's what they say. They said when I was in diapers, I can quote the Temptations.
That's crazy.
Yep, that's what they said. They said, as a baby, I can quote the Temptations word for word, and that was actually my first favorite group was the Temptations.
Right.
I didn't realize it until I got older. So, so fast forward to the barbering aspect. I mean, as far as barbering, to continue with the barbering, I started at a barbershop in Orange. Shout out to my guy, Big T from 6th Ave. That's the hood that Naughty by Nature is from in East Orange. And
Right.
he grew up with KG of Naughty by Nature. So that's how I ended up linking up with KG. And that was the origin. Me linking up with KG led to the origin of me starting the recording part of the documentary, the docu-series. He was actually the very first interview was KG from Naughty by Nature. And after that, the list just kept going and that's how it started. And it started in, so this thing right here, for people who think it's overnight, is not. And like Queen Latifah told someone that it takes 20 years to be an overnight success. And believe it or not, this project is actually 20 years in the making. Actually, over 20 years in the making because it was written out October 2005. The recording part didn't start till spring 2006. Put in the time capsule 2010. Retrieve 2020. Production 2021, 2022 by the grace of God. Part one for best documentary in the film festivals.
That's
Nice.
dope. Congrats.
Appreciate it.
And what I liked about, I think like I saw a clip on Instagram during the pandemic when it was you and your crew at the barbershop and y'all was just talking hip hop. And at barbershops, they, I had my barbershop used to always do that. They used to talk about hip hop and boxing matches, and everybody would be at the barbershop arguing with each other. And that's what I liked about that video. It was different. I didn't see like a barbershop on social media talk debating about hip hop. And that's how we linked up, and we linked up with other people in the crew, and shout out to the commission and back to the lab, and Rich Notch and everybody over there. That's how we all linked up, and since then it's been a tight knit community for this culture, and part of that is what Ray's doing now.
Yeah, which
Appreciate it.
is always
Appreciate it.
appreciated. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's hard to find somebody that you can have disagreements with, but still respect the other person's opinion.
Right.
And you know what I mean? That's really hard to find nowadays.
Yeah.
And especially in people when it comes to hip hop, everybody's got their favorite.
You're right.
But my favorite ain't gonna be your favorite. But I can't disrespect that's who you grew up with, or that's who got through a hard time. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So definitely I just can't wait to see it. I'll be honest, especially 20 something years in the making. That's insane. I don't think I could have been dedicated to a project that long because that's dedication.
See, you know what though? And I'm glad you brought that up, right? So a lot of times people ask me, they say, "Well, Ray, what were you doing with your life in the meantime?" In the meantime, I was growing my brand, Exclusive Barbershop. I really, at one point in my life, I was a popular barber that came from where I come from. I was known for barber battles. My Instagram grew when I because of my barber artwork, and I put Naughty by Nature's logo in somebody's head with the clippers. And once Vinny posted it, the following pretty much sparked up, and then they didn't know we followed up with the actual video of the cut and the history behind Naughty, and even in the video it talked about Naughty's influence. We said before Dipset, it was Naughty by Nature. Before Mob Deep, it was Naughty by Nature. Before G Unit, it was Naughty by Nature.
Right.
Before
Hmm.
50, before 50, it was Trench.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Hmm.
So like, and I was shooting content before the barber brand. Now in between time, I was shooting videos for my you know for my people who's in the hood. Shoot videos, and but I was really dedicated, and I'm still dedicated because I'm still a bar with the full service clientele, and I'm more low key on the content side, but in real life, I do conduct business as a professional barber, not just a barber. I'm a professional exclusive barber. I'm also a barber educator, so I pretty much gave back to the barber community, give back programs. Um, a part of students getting scholarships for barber school. So I was really neat in between that time, while the whole You Got It thing was just in the time travel. I was basically growing as a barber, and also as uh, a person that played his part in his community.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, and that's much respect. Like I said, it takes dedication, and you have to build something in order to get it out there, and especially helping with the community. A lot of people don't do that, and most people that do that, they want all this praise, like, yeah, look at me, and you know what I mean? When you're more relaxed about it, it feels more natural. It feels like the love, and you're always going to keep that clientele coming back because they know, yo, I ain't got the money this week. You know what I'm saying? Can I hit you next week? But can I get a fresh cut? I'm sure you've been in that position. I'm sure that people have tried to take advantage, and you know what I mean? And you had to do what you had to do. But at the end of the day, they still respect what you're doing for everybody. And the fact that you're not putting yourself out there first, you're helping young ones come up and still remain with that talent. To me, that's crazy because I can't cut hair worth of nothing. But I'm sure if you gave me a month lesson, I'd probably have it down to where I could master a craft. You know what I'm saying? Have something new. I couldn't drive a tractor trailer when I first started this 15 years ago,
Mhm.
but now I be parallel parking a 53-foot trailer like it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about developing and building and getting to know your craft. So I understand now where the 20-year gap is, but a lot of people don't see that. So I'm glad you mentioned that on here because when people go back and listen to this, they're gonna be like, 20 years, that's crazy. But then when as they go, oh, okay, you're trying to build, and sometimes you have to destroy. I'm sure there was times where you were probably close. you know what I'm saying, to closing or going through some money issues or something like that, but you had to get back up. You had to get back on your feet. You know what I mean? Did you ever run into something like that though? I want to get in your
Well, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing about life. With everything in life, right? With life cycles, right? It wouldn't be a lifeline without it going up and down. Because once it's straight across, it's dead.
yes.
Right? Once straight across, it's dead. Everything has a up. For every up is a down, right? And a lot of times the down, when it dips back down, it's a recipe for what? For things to spike back up even stronger. You get what I'm saying? And I can use, for example, let's just say right now we live in an era where, cryptocurrency is more recognizable, right? Years ago, it started off as 10, let's say 10 cent, whatever, right? Let's say like 2010, 10 cent. All right, cool. Then it went up to $100, right? Then up to this, then it dipped back down to such and such, then it dropped. So when I actually started discovering this whole crypto thing, let's just say 2020, 2021, between those years, right? I watch it from 2020, 2021, spike up to 60, let's say 60K, right? And then like the end of 21, it dropped to 30. And that's when I basically, bought some shares like everybody else, right? My point, and then now, cryptocurrency is over 100K, and it's been more consistent at 100K, let's just say since Trump got back in office, even though it's not about him, but that's just how the economy goes. My point is, challenges the process of life that you cannot and should not escape, because the challenges make you stronger. You get what I'm saying? People understand that when you go in the gym, that last set that you struggle with is a set that's going to build you for the next level. You get what I'm saying? Next, gradually your sets extend, and then gradually you add more weight to what you're benching, whatever. You get what I'm saying? So for those out there, especially the youngins that that's looking for that vision to come up, understand this challenges come with the game, and all it does is build you stronger and solid. That's it. So this is, of course, I went through challenges, but I'm be honest, man, I'm glad I went through challenges. It made me, straight up. I'm proud of my challenges, straight up.
Yeah, as you should be. You know what I mean? It's not easy surviving in any kind of field, anything. You know what I mean?
Yep.
All it takes is for my company to lose a big account, and then most people lose their jobs. You know what I mean? Like that's how it is with everything. That's how it is with life.
Yeah.
But Try. What do you think we should do? Should we ask this man about the documentary?
Yes. I want to know. I want to know before we do that. I want to know accumulating all this footage for over 20 years. What made you feel like you can actually do this documentary?
Yo, it's crazy. 2025, right, was a confirmation of what better time than now. So because we're living in another golden era of hip hop, right? We're actually living in, I can say, like the celebration of the golden era of hip hop. We're actually living in more of a paying homage to our culture era.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So everything, the culture of the golden era has resurfaced.
Right.
And what better time than now? So it's like hip hop nostalgia. The value of hip hop nostalgia has increased with, a numerous amount of things. We all know Mass Appeal had a major part in that, as well, amongst, other hip hop brands, hip hop names that represent that golden era. Not so much just golden, it's golden because it's timeless. And, other genres of music have already went through that, like Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, they already went through that stage. So for us, we appreciate it more because we are the youngest genre. Even though it's 50 years, 50 is still the youngest genre when it comes to music. You get what I'm saying? And not to be the youngest genre And in 2000, for a long time, especially 2026, we are the most influential genre of music,
Facts.
you know,
Yeah.
globally. Yeah. So, yep.
Nice.
Yeah. Nick, what you wanted to say? My bad. I just wanted to ask Ray
No,
that question.
yeah, no, that's cool. I just wanted to come back because he told me
Mm,
not to leave that question. So
right.
give me a couple of are there documentaries that actually inspired you, or are you just like on your own wavelength and you just, you just kind of did what you wanted to do?
I'll be honest with you, brother. I'm always inspired. Inspired. I'm be honest. I'm always inspired. If I tell you, maybe, all right, it's one thing when certain documentaries inspire me, and then, because I love documentaries in general. Like people would tell you that if you know me, I love documentaries and I love independent films with unfamiliar faces. Right? I
Mhm.
just love it. Right? It puts you in the zone. As far as hip hop documentaries goes, let's say Rhyme and Reason. Right? I appreciate even more, years later, Rhyme and Reason. That was one, with the Biggie and um, Wu Tang, and it was, Rhyme and Reason and the show. Let me see, Rhyme and Reason, the show. Backstage was dope. Backstage was dope. It was different, it was more fun,
Mm,
and it represented. I think it really represented. Where Rockefeller was headed and how far Rockefeller had a stain in the game back then. So
right.
that's why I love that. And but this one will, what I'm about to say will kind of fuck knockers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah.
All
yeah.
right. Um, kind of fuck people's head up a little bit, especially because of the name, and and yeah, sometimes you say a certain name, it makes people feel some type of way, including myself. But I can't deny the fact that Kanye West documentary, right, on Netflix. And
Mhm.
at the time I was like, yo, Kanye, Ye, you're bugging and all this bullshit he was doing, whatever, right, that I disagree with. Still can't deny the music, but
No.
it is what it is. But when I saw that documentary, man, it was the winter 2022. Yeah, February or
Yeah.
January 22, right?
Mhm.
When I saw that documentary, I said, "Yo," I called up my comrade from my team, DJ Redline, and me and him working. We were already working on '90s versus 2000. That's how I met Triborough, the '90s versus 2000 series.
Yeah.
Um, Once I saw that, I had to It told me I need to stop bullshitting, put my foot in the gas, get this shit together, and get this documentary out there. And I just locked in the schedule. And next thing you know, man, we locked in. I made sure I made the deadline early for the submission for the film festivals. And like I said, next thing you know, they said, and the winner for best documentary, mind you, it was virtual because of we were still coming out of the pandemic,
Yeah.
so it was virtual. So I had
Yeah.
just woke up 15 minutes before, because they had certain parts in person, but the award ceremony was virtual. So I woke up like, oh shit, the award ceremony, right? And
Mhm.
I woke up. I'm like, oh, they didn't do documentary yet. Cool, cool. And it was me and my wife at the time, and they said the winner for best documentary. And mind you, I went to church early that day. You know what I mean? I went to church early that day. And, something told me after the screening, go to church and whatever. And they said the winner is, you gotta respect the legends of hip hop legacy.
Wow.
I was just froze like, someone's screen looking at, like I'm looking at y'all.
Yeah.
I'm like this. So imagine y'all two are the announcers, and I'm just like,
Right. It's funny.
and then my wife, right? And then my wife,
Mhm.
she's like, "Ah!" And it don't help that the two announcers were comedians.
Oh,
Oh my God.
They're
you
like,
didn't
damn.
believe it.
They're like, damn, somebody having your shit. Hey,
Yeah.
oh, somebody stuck. They can't believe it. Look at him. You
Right.
stuck to the motherfucker. So,
Or he done froze up. His
and I done
internet
Oh,
froze
ain't
yeah.
up. I,
good.
I froze up, and I froze up, and yeah, and then opportunities were coming my way. You meet new people, and but I didn't budge. I didn't chase no opportunity that was thrown at me. I don't chase. I like to build to the point it attracts. And so it just reminded me, I got a little more business knowledge and through the process. So it prepared me for what's going on now. And now it's going, I can say this now on the platforms. It will be released on Global House Network next month. We still didn't announce the initial date, but it's okay, right? Right after that is Amazon, and right after that is Tubi. And I'm gonna say this: it's not a one-part documentary; it's a five-part to season one of You Gotta Respect the Legends of Hip Hop Legacy. So I built it so when it's released, it's five-part series over season one, opposed to just one.
Right.
So in between that time, between then and now, that's what the work has developed into.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of body of work. So,
Yep.
and congratulations, because I know that
Definitely.
that's definitely not easy, especially with Amazon. Um, I know Tubi, they be having some wild movies, but what people don't understand is you still have to ask them to put it on there. It's not like you could just upload it to YouTube. You know what I
Right.
mean? And it is good that again you're giving it away for the culture. You know what I mean? Like you could be in the back, like trying to sell DVDs. I mean, if you got a DVD, I'll buy the shit. But you're not just trying to sell it, you know what I mean, and keep it to yourself because the world nowadays, sometimes people can't even afford that simple $20. That might be their bus fare for the week or their subway fare for the week. You know what I mean? So I think that's an excellent thing, man. That's a great thing. Are you gonna have it on physical? Do you know?
Yes. Yes.
All right, because I'm buying it. As you can see, I'm a physical media collector. So you know
Yes.
what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes. You know what? It's a thing, and I'm glad and you know what, my brother, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up. First of all, this is the first platform that I even said that, right? That it would be available on the physical, right? That was going to be announced during the premiere or whatever, right? However, it's only right because um to kind of piggyback off the conversation you had prior with Tribergo about the vinyl era, returning, and again, of the sales of vinyls represents um the nostalgia of the golden era. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
represents that, right? And by the way, too, I have if anybody, I heard somebody say something about battle. I got a little arsenal myself now. Tribergo will tell you I got a little arsenal myself now. As far as
Yes.
vinyl, I have a vinyl arsenal myself.
He's collecting as well.
Okay, I
Yeah.
I haven't got up on. Listen, the movies is enough, and the couple of CDs that I buy here and there is enough. I'll stick with the movie shit, and when that comes out for physical, I'll definitely be copping one. Definitely be representing. I'll be telling people where to get it, and when it comes out, where to watch it, and letting that really build into the whole community, the culture. Because whether people like it or not, there's something about that documentary that they might like. So,
Mm-hmm.
there's always a boring part in the movie. I'll be
Mm-hmm.
honest, ain't no movie front to back not boring. There are masterpieces, but even those masterpieces have pauses where you're just like, oh, get to the story. So there might be a part where you be like, oh, I don't know this rapper, I don't want to watch it. You fast forward it, but you might miss a jewel in there.
Exactly.
So when I
Right,
tell
right,
people,
right, right. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
always tell people when you watch a movie, watch the movie. And then you can decide at the end. When you listen to a new album or an old album, you have to put your mindset into that era where we were listening to that album. I hate when people say, yo, I heard, let's say, because we in Jersey. So let's say I heard the Outsiders. Yo, the Bricks is garbage. You
Right.
can't, like, yo, I'll punch you in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? Because in that generation, what they was talking about still is relevant today. Rehab. You gonna tell me that song ain't relevant
Right,
today?
right,
Facts.
You know what
right,
I'm saying? So when we look at it like that, always give something at least one shot before you go and say, "Oh, I didn't like it," or "I didn't like this part." That's fine, but the
right,
way that the brother put it together, he liked it,
right.
and I might love it. Try
Right.
might love it. Next
Yeah.
person might like it. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So
Mm-hmm.
we always have to be in that mindset of give everything as a whole a chance before we break it into pieces. Oh, I don't know who Chino XL is. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna keep skipping to the next scene. But you might find something out about Chino XL that might lead you back to that, listening to his music, and then his family gets a portion of that catalog. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Everything has a cycle to it. Everything is a vicious cycle. So the way I look at it is when rappers pass away, hopefully they family get most of that. I know record labels take their share, but if you had Chino XL in there, or if you have I know you got Naughty by Nature in there, but the people that you have in these documentaries that have albums that people haven't heard those albums from, now it gives them a chance to go back on these platforms, Amazon, Spotify, Title. You got all these different platforms, YouTube, and their family is getting a portion of that money, and we still feeding the culture,
Right.
regardless if it's $1 or $100. We still feeding them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the way I kind of look at it, especially nowadays. With movies, not so much. Once they buy the licensing to the movie, you're only getting a piece of that pie and that's it. But the more you listen to old school music, the more that family's getting fed in the long run.
Yeah.
So
That's
again,
true.
I appreciate what you're doing with this documentary, and I can't wait to see it. 5 parts.
Yeah.
Yes.
5 parts. Actually, my brother, to piggyback off the Chino XL, rest in peace to Chino XL. Shout out to his family, and I want to say this: shout out to his niece,
Yes.
Lady London.
Mm.
Lady London is killing him right now.
Hmm.
I
For
don't.
sure.
I'm be honest, and I might sound biased, but far as the new wave of MCs, she just happened to be a female. I don't think no female is rocking with her right now. Again, I sound biased. I get it, but her lyrics and her bars can pretty much back up what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so that flow is it's continued. You know what I mean? Like the level of bars continue because Chino XL, he had a high standard of lyricism. He had a
Hmm.
high standard, right? And
Right.
she's definitely in that family carrying the torch right now. So I gotta give her flowers. Um, so as far as the names in documentary, y'all want me to start with the documentary as far as who's involved or
Yeah, go
y'all
ahead.
Yes.
right?
This is your platform today.
I appreciate it. So okay, so for those who don't know, the docu series is called "You Gotta Respect the Legends of Hip Hop Legacy," season one. Five parts for season one. Jersey's Impact, Jersey's Impact Part Two, Jersey's Impact Part Three, Verse Gods, and Verse Gods Two. Jersey's Impact is about how hip hop made an impact on Jersey, and in return, how Jersey made an impact on hip hop culture. Of course, we got the Naughty by Nature, Vinny, KG, and Tretch, collectively and together, right? Um, being that Naughty story is, so strong. We have mentioned Naughty's mentioned in part one, two, and three, but in part one it highlights Tretch, part two highlights Vinny, part three highlights KG, and it came back in full circle. And it also has footage of when KG was being reunited back into Naughty by Nature. You know what I'm saying? Back into Naughty by Nature. So that was pretty much cool right there. I was happy to be a part of that, right? And of course, Joe Button's on there, right? Joe Button. This was during the this interview was during the mood music era. Of course, uh, Redman. This was when Redman was still on Def Jam, and he had. I was at the video shoot for "Put It Down," which was sponsored by MTV and the Viva La Bam show. Um, Lords of the Underground. Lords of the Underground. Shout out to Do It All. He made it happen. Shout out to Funk, Jazz, and Rod Digger. Of course, she's on there. Artifacts. Um, the list goes on. The list goes on. And when it comes to verse gods, the essence of lyricism is not so much of just Jersey rappers, because I didn't want people to think that this brand will only highlight Jersey hip hop culture. You know, I'm from Jersey. I love Jersey hip hop culture. Some of my favorites are from Jersey, but also I have favorites outside of Jersey, right? And with verse guys, we have the battle rap legends like O Red. We got West Coast legends, Roz Cos. We got Smith and Wesson. You know what I'm saying? Legends from BK. And the list goes on. Rod Digger's on that one too. Pick James. Pick James is from Outsiders, but he also is his he's a branch. He's from like the new era of Outsiders, but he has his own name, and he's also a producer. He produced for some of the Griselda artists as well, like Rome Streets, and the list goes on. The list goes on. And again, and one thing I want to say too, every installment has a message at the end. So yeah, to me, this concept falls down the line of salute to the great KRS One, edutainment.
Right.
It's raw, but edutainment. And Dry Burble, you see it every chapter. They give you a message at the end, something that's missing, as far as the culture now. A lot of time they making savage mindset cool, and it's not. They're making petty mindset cool, and it's not. Yeah, just because it's popular, right? Just because it's popular doesn't make it right. You know what I'm saying? And we all entertained by the BS, but just because I'm entertained by something doesn't mean that's going to be my lane. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully.
Right.
And and again, it's a how can I say it? It's a collectively, I feel that this is and it's raw too. It's raw, by the way. The style of it is raw. When you watch it, the visual style of it is raw. You can tell certain things are from like the Smack era, Smack DVD era. Certain things. So, from the vintage footage, and so collectively is I feel that not even trying to sound cocky or none of that, but the platforms that it will be on, I really think it will make an impact as far as the documentary category and the hip hop culture category, with its document, whatever. But this will be a dope docu series that I'm going by what the reception that I get now. And I hope you enjoyed as well, my brother. You're more than welcome to join us for a virtual screening this Sunday, 6 p.m. Our virtual screening is going to show part 3 and Verse Guys. That's 2 of the 5 parts of the series. And the reason why Jersey Impact Part 3 and Verse Guys are 2 of the highlighted parts of the series, because they are like a core of the series, meaning like, okay, Jersey Part 3 represents the full circle of part 1, part 2, and of course, part 3. But at the same time, it's an introduction to Verse Gods. And then we show Verse Gods, part 1.
Yeah, and I just want to let people know I've seen back in 2023. I saw the first 3 parts, and it is phenomenal. And to go in depth with artists like Rod Digger and the Artifacts and Joe Budden, this is going to be a must see documentary for true hip hop heads. And I saw the trailer for Verse Guys, but that one I want to see that. I'm definitely anxious to see that one.
Yeah, and Joe Budden's, from the start. I don't care how they say he's just only got one single or one album. Joe
From
Buttons to me, I mean, he's always mesmerized me when it came to lyrics. Is he
Right.
a crybaby? I'm sorry, Joe Buttons. When you were rapping back in the days, yes, you were a crybaby, but it was in a way of anger and not so much as he just hating. He's just showing you he got lyrical skill.
Right.
And I feel like when him and Jay were doing the back and forth on the pump it up beat, I think Joe Buttons killed Jay. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? When he came back. And some of my favorite albums in hip hop period, 3 of them are Joe Buttons. You know what I mean?
it's
But
funny you said that too, because I got Vinny, not to spoil it, but I got Vinny saying that what you just said about the Joe Button, Jay-Z, back and
yeah,
forth.
like when you go back and you like I said, Jay was at his prime peak Jay-Z and
Mhm.
playing around because he was so called retired. But when Joe Buttons came back, give me that beat, fool. I mean, come on, man.
Facts.
I don't know. And the mixtape albums, the whole mood music that started it all off. And then his last album that I was sad to see that he did his last one, Rage in the Machine.
Yeah,
It's
Raising the Machine.
fire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
That's good.
fire. And everybody, oh, that shit was corny. I'm like, what?
that shit was dope.
The
That
way
shit
that
was
he
dope.
remixed the Hard Knock Life joint
Mhm.
with but Jersey style, come on, that shit was fire.
You know what I mean? Well,
But
my niggas with the rubber grips, no doubt. How
yeah,
many MCs must get this? In the words of the great Buckshot, why the fuck not? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's my
I
shit.
mean, yeah, and nobody gave that album a chance. Everybody's like, "Oh, he done. He's a network guy now." And okay, but the album's still fire. So again, this is just people coming off of they don't like Joe Button because now he's a podcaster and he's a businessman. You
Right.
know,
I mean, but you know what though? I'm gonna say this, man, and it's funny you brought that up about Joe because I was on a interview a few weeks back, and they asked me my top 5 from Jersey, right? And I mentioned Joe as one of the MCs, and I said I know that would mess somebody's heads up because his podcast, him being a podcaster now. But one of the reasons why he could talk shit and criticize like rappers if they're good or not is because lyrically he could be fucked with.
no,
He know
no.
that lyrically he wish they would say, "Yo, Joe," you get what I'm saying? So, and he been through battles, and he did dope shit basically. So that's why he talks shit because he can actually back it up.
He could back it up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
real talk.
and
Real
I
talk.
felt when he spoke his mind about Eminem in the Revival album, and that started that whole thing. I was like, yo, it's his opinion, and
Right.
I was hoping that Joe was gonna come back with with an album or a song, because I was like, oh, I know he can get M when it comes to realism and lyricism. I mean, but it is what it is. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But there are so many there are so many lines from Joe that just will go over people's heads that they don't even understand. Stuff between platinum and flop, underground and mainstream, conscience, backpack, scratch that, same thing. People are like, "What are you talking about?" Backpack rap,
And and
conscious
then and
rap.
then,
You
and then
know?
that same process he formed Slaughterhouse.
Yeah,
You get what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like, and on you gotta respect the legends. Part one, it shows him that with the Slaughterhouse, and I highlight the Slaughterhouse part more on Verse Guards too.
Mm.
The Slaughterhouse. But again, and back then he had battles. Like back then hip hop was at a different stage, whereas though like the raw underground stuff we get now, you can only get like on certain platforms back then, like Hip Hop Game and World Star. So like back then when it came to just say before social media um took a climb, we just said the internet. We just say the internet. If it on the internet, it's not popping, right? We just say the internet. So it's like certain radios were behind, like radio shows were even behind on the internet. What made Breakfast Club popping because Breakfast Club would broadcast what's going on the internet opposed to waiting till the information goes mainstream. And Joe Button was at the forefront of rappers who were gaining notoriety and building more of a fan base on the internet. Wale even said it like, "Yo, man, you like the such and such of the internet." So that's why he didn't sign any more deals. He felt he didn't need to. Independence, and the only deal he signed was with Slaughterhouse when they got a deal with him.
Shake. Yeah.
Yep. With Shake. Yep. So yeah. So shout out to him. And again, like I said, it's just raw, man. It's just it, like Tri Burrows said, if you love hip hop, man, and it's celebration energy at the same time. It's celebration energy. It's raw energy. It's educational energy at the end because they're dropping jewels. They're dropping jewels.
Right.
And that's what I tell a lot of these young cats. Even my son is very heavily educated. He loves his new artists, but when it comes to the old artists, he knows about Wu-Tang. He knows about, NWA. He knows about the movements that were started. He knows, I don't care what people say, LL Cool J will always be an amazing artist to me because he does what he wants. He's never conformed to what the industry wants. L will drop an album because L wants to drop an album. And that's that. He don't need the money because he was doing all sorts of shit back then. Shows. He had his own TV show, his own sitcom. He was doing movies. You know what I mean? He was in the Halloween franchise, So he was doing so much that he just said, I'm just going to drop this album. And it was just music that he wanted to listen to, I guess. You know what I mean? So when people disrespect the legends, I always tell them again, go back and then try to live in that era where if you didn't have lyrical skill, you weren't getting past the gates. Now they'll let anybody in the floodgates. You know what I mean? And now you have to 10 times harder to prove yourself. Look how long it took Griselda. They didn't blow up overnight. You know what I'm saying? And now they're starting to get more popular. But if you go back to what they were doing back then, BSF, all those mixtapes, they were on fire. But, they weren't mainstream. They weren't internet sensations. So people didn't look at them like that. You know what I mean? But they're all fire lyricists. And RJ Payne, again, get your ass out with an album.
Oh, yeah. Now, RJ Payne. He's another one that's representing like this. I can't say it. It's like a new golden era as far as like the raw hip hop and Griselda, names like Rome Streets, and my favorite is Stove God Cook. Straight up.
Yeah, he's fire.
Straight up.
Not my favorite, but he's fire.
Yeah, I can't even front like every era I got a favorite rapper, right? My all-time favorite solo rapper is Nas. And he reminds me why all the time, right? One time Joe was my favorite. Like when hip hop was at like a certain stage, like I was listening to consistent fire from Joe because it wasn't the same shit as everybody else. The same regular street shit. It was raw. He was doing what Griselda was doing now. He was doing that back then, bringing out albums consistently. Mood music. Great Escape.
How fire was Go to Hell? You know what I'm saying? Just that song, and I forgot the name of that mixtape, but that shit was fire right from the get go. Right from
Halfway House.
Yes, Halfway House. There you go. That shit was fire.
Halfway House introduced the Slaughterhouse. Not to mention, let me see the Great Escape and Padded Room.
Padded Room is another slept on one.
She told me in my sleep, Bobby. He said, we say, I said, in my sleep, he was like, he said, they said in my sleep I be walking, I be laughing, but shit be funny to me. My ice cream is 200 degrees. If it drip, I get a hole in my dungarees. See, my enemy is my protection, and me and hip hop have no connection. What else? What's got me reflected is that why the mirror won't show my reflection. You know what I'm saying? Like crazy
Yeah,
shit like that. You get what I'm saying?
yeah.
And,
That
you
was
know,
Blood on the Wall. That song
yeah.
was fire.
Yeah.
That blood on the wall shit. He got that Prodigy because Prodigy
Oh,
dissed him before he went in.
yeah.
He killed it, yo. And mind you, Prodigy is half of my favorite group, but I couldn't front on Blood on the Wall. And
Yeah,
I'll
Blood on the
never
Wall.
stop till this nigga see Blood on the Wall. You know?
Yeah, that beat was hard as fuck
Oh, the
too.
beat.
Yeah, that beat was hard as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Dum. Yeah, that shit was crazy. So he definitely like that era of raw hip hop on the internet. He was at the forefront. He was at the forefront, and
Mhm.
they knew it. And this is how I knew it as well, right? So the night I went to go interview him, it was at the Move Music 3 album release party, right? That was, let's just say, like, it was the end of January, something like the end of January, beginning of February, somewhere between it, right? Mind you, the mixtape had already dropped around Christmas, right?
Right.
That's weeks prior. So the mixtape, back then, like if you follow Joe Budden, the mixtape was like an album.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So the only difference between the mixtape, because it was all original music, it wasn't like he's taking music from somebody else and just freestyling over. It was actually an album. It's just that's the way it was marketed, right? So I caught the album on Christmas, right? Boom, I had it, I ordered it, came through the mail, CD still, whatever, cool. So let's just say that they had the show. So the actual album, only difference is like maybe a few songs. That's it. Just a
Mhm.
few songs, right? All right, cool. Joe got on stage and the crowd was such a cult following. Every song he did, the crowd knew every song word for word. I had to put the camera down like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Like every song, I mean every song. And that was the beginning of Tahiri. Everybody was on her. He had the blog site. No rap was doing blogs back then. So he had some Joe Budden TV. He had Tahiri. And a lot of us fellas watching for Tahiri as well. We knew I knew the magazine was gonna pick her up.
Right.
So when I saw her on Straight Stunting, it didn't surprise me. When I saw her modeling in videos, it didn't surprise me. She was
Mhm.
beautiful, bro. I said, damn. I never I'm like, yo, who's that? They said, that's his girl. I said, hey, I said, okay. Real
Right.
talk.
Can't
You
be
know,
mad at that.
she was beautiful, bro. She
Mhm.
was beautiful. I swear to God, I was in love. I said, damn. Real talk. Real talk, man. I was in love. Like,
And we,
damn.
and we were watching Love and Hip Hop for Joe and Tahiri on there.
Well, actually, it's funny. I don't know how true this is, but they say
Mhm.
actually they approached them two before they approached Jim and Chrissy.
Right.
That's the rumor. I'm not sure
Mhm.
how true that is.
I would
But
think so.
then, yeah, so again, that mixed with the raw hip hop, you know, that's one of the reasons why he had to be on his docu series. He had to be acknowledged.
Yeah,
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel a lot of people sleep on Joe, and
definitely.
I've always been, even when I was pumping it in my car, system blasting, people would be like, "Yo, what is that?" I'm like, "Yo, that's mood music. What the fuck
Mhm.
you talking about? What is that?" 'Cause I was one of those fans. You know what I mean? It
Right.
was the same way when I went to the Jay concert back in the days. This is before um volume 3 came out. I had the
Right.
bootleg. So when he started spitting these, I'm in the crowd singing the song. People are like,
How you
looking
doing?
at me all funny. And I'm like, yo, that's called being a hip hop head.
Mhm.
Like, you get
Oh,
the
yeah.
shit. My barber shop had a shop in the back where you could buy bootlegs, you could buy the little VHS bootlegs, You had the fake Jordans, the fake
Mhm.
Nikes, you know what I'm saying? He had a little shop in the back, So I always went to him to go and get shit. Always. And it was 3 for 20. Or 5 for 20, 3 for 10. That
Yep.
was my shit. 3 for 10, 5 for 20.
Yep. Yep.
Can't beat that, man. I mean, can't.
Nope.
But anyways, anything you want to say before we head out and close this down? Do you have an official date?
All right. So the official date will be announced. Let's just say in a few weeks because I'm saying a few weeks because I know within the next 2 meetings, that's when we're going to finalize the date. And it's because the first release is going to be on a brand new platform called Globehouse. Globehouse, what makes it more unique is it's going to provide that exclusive VR experience. So this whole thing is not just marketed just for the hip hop culture. It's also hip hop meets tech in a sense because you're going to get a sample of that Sunday in a virtual room. My brother, I'm going to send you a link. It's pretty dope. Jabero, he's experienced it so far as well.
Yeah, he told me how dope it was. He was rubbing it in my face.
I was not.
And like I said, after Globehouse, then Amazon, and then Tubi. But after Tubi, I know people saying, "Well, what now? What?" I'll say this: for every installment of the 5-part series is actually exclusive extended versions. But the catch is, you will only be able to see it on Globehouse TV after it's released on Tubi. So that's dope. The extended version you won't see until like the earliest, the summertime. Probably fall. Be honest with you, probably fall.
Well, what about the physical, man? You got to give the physical people that want to buy it some.
No, the physical will be available before between Amazon and Tubi era. That's when the physical could be out. You know what I'm saying?
No, I want the extended version. I ain't playing with you, boy. I want the
You
extended
want
shit.
Yeah.
I have to buy both copies then.
Yeah. But yeah. But the thing with Globehouse, and yeah, definitely, I make sure you get extended version on physical. But as far as Globehouse, the extended exclusive version will also be available in VR form. You know what I'm saying? VR
form.
So,
VR form.
Yeah, VR form. Yeah. So whether you got whether you have VRs or not, you'll be able to experience in virtual reality. We have it set where it's though, like say if you join us Sunday, send a link to your phone. Only thing we're going to ask is to just cast it to your big screen to get a full experience. You got your avatar, and it's like a virtual. It looks like a virtual loft type of spot / museum on a wall of nothing but nostalgia from Jersey hip hop. Even though Biz is not from Jersey, I had to put him on there because Biz had a lot of love for Jersey. We had a lot of love for him, and Biz is the first. Besides Roxanne Shante, I want to say this before we go.
Right.
Roxanne Shante, when she moved from Queensbridge, she moved to my hood across the street from my building. I'm from 195 First Street, the Spires in Newark, New Jersey. She moved to 175 First Street, the Spires in Newark, New Jersey. And for a kid that's I'm like 10 years old, again, I know hip hop. I watch Vietnamese Box. I listen to Chuck Chill Out on Friday nights. I tape Chuck Chill Out, right? From WBLS, right? And I'm not old enough to go to a concert. But then you got the hottest rapper out in the summertime is in my hood, and that's Biz Markie. And he came through around the time when the Vapors was out. And this is something for the radio. Boom, dum, 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 dum,
Classic.
He comes around the hood. Then he brings with him sometimes the Juice Crew. Now, the only rap I saw was him. I missed it when Shan came around. I missed it when G-Rap came around. You know, so all for Shantae. So, you know, yeah. So that's basically why I had to put Biz in it. You know, not to make a long story, but that's why I had to put Biz in it. Biz also discovered Redman first.
That's right.
Yeah, I heard that I think it was in his documentary, that Biz documentary they have out,
Yeah.
where he said that he discovered Red, but just didn't have the technique backing to do it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So again, like I said, you know, to all the hip hop heads out there, you know, first of all, shout out to all the hip hop heads out there. Shout out to all my barber comrades out there. You know, because again, I'm that barber that used to debate the hell out you in the barber shop about anybody. You get what I'm saying? I mean, yo, and a lot of times it was funny as hell. Like I'm just gonna say two moments. Look, my cousin, right? Rest in peace to my cousin L. That was like my big brother, right? And I remember one time, and he's another one that's debate hard, right? And let me tell you what he did, right? Somebody, you know, I had a debate about Jay-Z and Biggie. That debate about Jay-Z and Biggie, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is like maybe 2000 and maybe like 5 or 6, something like that, right? Somewhere around there. And you know, when you compare like Biggie and Jay versus, you know, you're gonna compare like their toughest shit to their toughest shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he got too excited. Now, mind you, he's a diehard Biggie fan. He's diehard Biggie. He put Biggie, when it came to Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas, he's Biggie, right? So somebody said something about whatever. He said, what? What the fuck Jay-Z got better than Hypnotize? And everybody's paused like, what? Hypnotize? What the fuck?
Oh my God.
Also, he said Hypnotize. So everybody got quiet. Because his character, I'm gonna take my cousin L was like Charlie Murphy to the hood. Charlie Murphy / DMX, straight up. That's who I got. My toughness and my heart came from him, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I remember like me debating with somebody, and I forgot who it was we debated. I forgot who I was talking about, and they said Cash Money was better. I said Cash Money. And this is around the time when, like, this is right before Wayne. This is before the Carter. Did the Carter 1 drop? I think the Carter 1 dropped already. This before the Carter 2. It was before the Carter 2. Before the Carter 2. And this one was Stunt Like My Daddy was out. And dude tried to go bar for bar for me. I forgot who I said at the time. It might have been Jada and them or somebody. And that nigga said, I said, nigga, give me a bar from motherfucking Cash Money. That nigga said, what they doing? Getting money. What they do? I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. You know, but yeah, so you know, that's what all this stem from. So you're gonna get that barbershop debate energy, you know what I'm saying, from this. You get what I'm saying? You're gonna get that what's your top 5 energy? You're gonna get that how it all started energy and education. You know, we're going to, you know, verse guys, it takes you back in the beginning. The intro takes you back to when rap was becoming the forefront of hip hop music and culture, because it wasn't always at the forefront. It had to wait its turn. The forefront was the motherfucking DJ. Right. You get what I'm saying? And it's, you know, it's not hard to figure out that it was created by who? DJ Kool Herc. You get what I'm saying? DJ Kool Herc started that party, started the culture. That party, if you were not at the party, the message about that block party spread it all over the country. You get what I'm saying? And that plays a part of how the influence migrated. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? How it migrated. You know, so and you gotta respect part 1, 2, and 3 as far as Jersey. You know, it represents the impact it came to it put on Jersey in return how Jersey put it back into hip hop. So yeah, so there you have it. So again, everyone, if you're watching this, you're more than welcome. Follow. You gotta respect the legends of hip hop legacy here on YouTube and on Instagram, right? And on Instagram, stay updated with the release date and anything involving. You gotta respect moving forward. Shout out to the Temple of Hip Hop. We're working on the screening over there. Right now, we're in the negotiation for an actual live screening date there. This Sunday, you is this Sunday. Just DM you gotta respect the legends for the link. You can receive the link directly to the virtual room for the virtual screening, and it's nothing but fire. Straight up, number fire. Yep, and that's the energy.
Hey, before you leave, I got one more question. Now you named on another podcast your top 5 Jersey rappers. Now we're gonna ask you to name your top 5 Jersey rap albums of all time.
Mm, mm. Damn, caught me off guard.
That's what we like to do.
Caught me off guard.
I can go first if you want me to. I can go first and state mine if you want me to start it off.
Yep, that's cool. Yep.
All right. Number 1, Queen Latifah, Black Rain. To me, that's one of her best albums. That to me was like, I think, like a very important album for her in 1993. Love that album. Number 2, Naughty by Nature. I'm gonna go with 1993, but I know people love Poverty's Paradise from 95, but 1993 really hit different when Hip Hop Parade came out. That was like a national hip hop anthem when that dropped. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'd go with that. That was also 93. Number 3, I'm gonna go with Lords of the Underground. Here Come the Lords, also 93. Classic boom bap. Shout out to Do It All and Lord Jazz and Funky Man. Love that album.
Right.
Number 4, I'm gonna go with the Artifacts, Between a Rock and a Hard Place. Rest in peace to Tame One. Ella Sensei, very underrated MC. Love that album. And number 5, I gotta go with Redman, Muddy Waters. His best album.
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say that.
His best album, 1996.
Okay. That's classic. That's classic.
Y'all don't want to know mine.
Yeah, I want to know yours.
Definitely want to know yours. Definitely want to know yours.
All right, for me, it's got to be Redman, Doc's the Name. I love that album.
Love that album.
Muddy Waters is phenomenal. Always will be a classic. But front to back, I just think Doc the Name, even down to the intros, the interludes, the outros, everything is just a good time. So for me, I've always had a good time with that album. Outsiders, The Bricks, definitely a classic to me because of what it still holds in relevancy today. You can go back and listen to that today and still learn things about today. Also, Joe Buttons. I loved his first album. Fuck what y'all think. I actually love that, especially Give Me 10 Minutes. I just need 10 minutes alone. You know what I'm saying? I would spark up a cigarette. I had the 100, and I would do the same thing and just zone out. You know what I mean? That whole legacy of Pump It Up was the only good thing. Go back and listen to just the first song. You get that feel good vibe, and that's what he was trying to bring until Mood Music came. So for me, that's got to be, and then I'm gonna go Redman, Muddy Waters. I know Naughty by Nature will always be in somebody's top 5, but I wasn't heavy into them, just the singles. I was really off of that, whatever, man. I was really on that Redman, Method Man collaboration type of thing when they were really kind of coming out. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I didn't really enjoy the Naughty by Nature albums until later.
Right.
It's kind of like back when all these groups were coming out, I was a big Lost Boys fan. Right. And then everybody was like, nah, they kind of corny. You should listen to Lords of the Underground or listen to this and that. And I'm like, well, I love, so I spent a lot of my time focusing on them. And then they came out with a second album. So, but go ahead. What's your 5?
I'm be honest, my list is a little bit of both of y'all's put together in a sense,
Okay.
but a sprinkle of a little difference, right?
Right.
So on this go round, I'm gonna kind of fuck people heads up a little bit on this one, right? Top 5 albums. My top 5 albums from Jersey. Number 1, Here Come the Lords.
Hmm.
Right? Here Come the Lords. Shout out to the Lords of the Underground. Right?
Yeah.
Of course, Naughty by Nature, I was stuck between 1 and 2. Like it's like I'm stuck between Naughty by Nature debut album and
Right.
1993. I'm stuck between that. I'm be honest, I'm stuck. I'm stuck between that, right?
Mhm.
Muddy Waters 2. I mean, I said
Ooh.
2. Muddy Waters,
Okay.
right? And
Muddy
I think I
Waters
said
was fire though.
Yes.
no. I think that's why I said it by mistake because
Yeah,
for me it's another classic.
yeah,
It's another
yeah.
classic. So I think it's if I wanted to say 2, I could actually.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. You know what? I'm gonna say Muddy Waters 2.
Okay.
No, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say Muddy Waters 2. Right?
All right.
Okay.
Right? Joe Button, Move Music 3.
Mm.
That one's my favorite out of the Mood
So,
Music too.
Move Music 3. Last but not least, The Score.
mm. Fuji.
Mm,
Forgot
okay,
about that.
I
The
forgot
Score.
about that too.
Yeah. The
I
The
Fuji.
forgot.
Score. Because I remember when it was in production. Like, I'm from Newark, I'm from Jersey, and I remember, the Fugees working on a new album. Right? Already they got Z and them involved, as far as the outsiders and things of that nature, right?
Right.
And next thing you know, the single blew up, and it was tough. And then the album just took off, like, and we watched the Fugees just level up to a level beyond the imagination.
Yeah,
And it was tough, man. Like, I know people just, from the singles, you just see Killing Me Softly and, Fuji La and Ready or Not. But, bro, they had some tough shit on it. And that's tough. Believe it or not, that's tough.
yeah.
And, Lauren, she was great at what she did, rapping and singing. Great. She was great. And
And
Fuji's
on
had
top
the
of that,
couple to come out. Oh, say
my
it again. No, say it
no,
again.
I'm saying, Fuji's, people didn't even know. People thought that was their first album, and it wasn't. That was their
Right.
sophomore album, The Score.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So, I'm glad you brought that up because I totally even forgot about The Score. And then I saw Triburrow's face
Yeah.
when you
I
said that.
forgot. Yeah.
I forgot, and especially that let me get 4 chicken wings fried hard and shit. That was my favorite skit back then.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
You know what though? You know what? But what also made it kind of special is that you talking about blunted on reality, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When I was 16, me and my crew opened up for the Fugees at Rutgers Paul Robeson Center, February '94, and
That's crazy.
yeah, we opened up for them. And I remember my manager at the time, Ruben, the manager, and we opened up for them. And next thing you know, after that show, I think maybe a month later, they filmed Nappy Heads. We weren't there for the video shoot. I think that's the last time we actually, well, I can remember us seeing the Fugees. But the day that we opened up for them, Lauren was not present. I think she was on a film set or something like that. And she was acting back then.
Right.
But yeah, real talk. So, and then to hear about your people's, bros involved with the next album, and then they actually blow up. So it's like, so it was a real how can I say it, hometown uh spirit, since Naughty by Nature. You know, so it was a dope time. It was a dope time.
Yeah, again, I totally that slipped my mind because
Yeah,
that probably would have been in there as at least an honor. Well, let's make it an
I
honorable
don't mention,
mention.
yes, for sure.
Yes, because
Definitely.
I totally forgot about the score, and the score was fire. You
yeah.
Definitely.
know, and I that slipped my mind. What I was surprised was I didn't hear anybody say Lauren Hill, like period, her
Oh,
first album.
yes.
Um,
I don't
I'm
mention.
yeah, I'm one of those people that I don't think she's the best. I don't. It is definitely a classic album, but that's all she's got in her whole discography. A lot of people will argue, "Oh no, but the body of work isn't there." You know, it's kind of hard to say Biggie was the best when the body of work isn't there, but Pac's body of work is there. You know, because he had songs after songs after song, but
Right.
you know, Biggie really only had two albums. Big L had one and a half, if you really want to get technical. You know what I mean? So a lot of these, you know, I don't want to put her down because I think she's a dope lyricist. But to crown her the best, I would rather listen to Queen Latifah before Lauren. You know, I
I
thought Queen
disagree with that
Latifah.
one because
No, as
Queen,
far as like what she's trying to actually message wise, I'm not talking about flow. I think Queen Latifah had a stronger message in all of her albums for women than Lauren Hill did in that one album. But as far as flow, no, no, I think she got that. If you want to get personal though, I think Lil Kim would get them all. You know, from back then,
Little Kim against Lauryn Hill? Oh man.
nah, she'll get her in a battle. You crazy?
I am. Not Lil Kim. Now you said Foxy, I give you a shot, but not Lil Kim. No.
I loved Foxy too, man. Especially her first album was dope, but she's another one that just kind of
Yeah.
flipped. You know what I mean?
I would have to get the Brat or Foxy on Lil Kim. I mean, not Lil Kim on Lauren.
Yeah.
Not Lil Kim.
Nah,
Lil Kim.
rap.
See Lil Kim. I mean, Lil Kim was raw. I ain't gonna. She was tough,
Right.
but I think to go at Lauren, Lauren had that flow. Lauren, I don't know. Mm-mm.
Yeah, but like I said, everybody
Yeah,
has their opinion. I'd rather
yeah,
listen
yeah,
to
yeah.
Little Kim than listen to Lauren. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just
And I fuck with Lil
that's
Kim.
me.
So
I
I fuck with
love the
Lil Kim.
Fugees. I love the Fugees, but Lauren just didn't do it for me. Great album, but I can't keep listening to it consistently over and over and over and over. But throw on
Right.
hardcore, throw on Notorious Kim. I'd rather listen to them. It's personal opinion.
Yeah. See. No. But my whole point was though, like, as far as like length of body of work, like TV ain't really had. She had a body of work, but it still wasn't as long as like they both of them wasn't as long as each other if you really think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like after the second album or third, something like that, you know, she more, you know, transitioned into acting, right?
Yeah.
The women that had like a body of work, like Foxy had a body of work. Kim, I think Kim should have continued when she came home. Like
Yeah.
when Nikki came at her,
Uh-huh.
she should have dropped a whole album on Nikki ass. Fuck a freestyle.
Yeah.
You
She
know what
Yes.
should
I'm
have.
saying? She should drop the whole album. He was consistent at one point before she transitioned to acting. He was consistent.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, what's her name? I'm not even including MC like the Brat. I think the Brat was I think the Brat is a can I say underrated legend or
Yeah.
is that
Yeah.
For
and
sure.
you know what I pray that I missed it. Did y'all hear the song called Bouquet by Nas?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's on the album. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I heard the Brat name.
I didn't hear her name either, and people said
Yeah.
that he mentioned her.
Yeah. I have to go back and listen. Maybe he mentioned her by her real name and we just didn't catch it
Why would he do that
because
though?
I do not
I
remember him
that's the
saying the
one
Brat.
the
What's her
one that's
real
the
name?
one name I didn't hear him mention.
What's her real name?
Her real name is Shante. Is it Shante? I think it's Shante.
I don't even know.
I
I
don't,
just
but
always call it the Brat.
I don't remember him saying that. He mentioned everybody, even in the newer MCs. I don't remember him, mentioning the Brad at all. I'm like, was that done on purpose?
Yeah, I don't know. I doubt it. I doubt it. It's because it's too many to name. Um, he might have said it, but Shantae, that's Roxanne. So I know he.
But I know she spells it differently though. I believe it's Shantae Harris is her name. But I know she spells Shantae differently.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I said, maybe he said her real name, but I don't remember him specifically saying the Brat.
mm-mm. Nah,
Period.
yeah,
I don't remember that. But
yeah.
what I was gonna say, when you do drop the official date on each one of those platforms that it is going to be coming out on,
Mm-hmm.
that following Friday and on our Instagrams, definitely we got you over here. We gonna announce it
Appreciate it.
when we first start the podcast and let people know, go check it out. Now it's available on such and such. Now it's available on such and such. So we got you when it comes to that. And we definitely want to have you back on, maybe to talk a little bit deeper about something not rap. You know what I mean? Like R&B, you know, or if you love house music, I don't know if you like house music or any of that stuff, something to step outside of your comfort zone. That's what I like to see people in too, because I did that recently with Alex over from Geeks and Flicks, and I talked about rock and roll. So stepping out of the element, I like to see people stepping out of their comfort zone. So we're gonna be hitting you up for another episode, but definitely keep us in the loop, and we're gonna keep everybody on here in the loop for you as well. And it's always much love. Much love. And
Same.
everything will be in the description down below. Once this is over, everything will be in there. So make sure you go and follow. You got to over on Insta. Well, you got to start being a little bit more active on the Instagram.
Oh no, no, no! It's active. It's active.
All right.
Exactly.
All right.
But we definitely gonna gotta turn up a little more. But yeah, actually, the latest interview, I don't want to say viral, but it's been heavy on between IG, YouTube, and TikTok. They still cursing me out about that top five right now. They still, how you gonna see Red Man first? How
Oh,
Joe
man.
Button, his corny at? I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
pump it up. You should. Oh my god, bro.
Yes, I told you. They always go back to that one. Anyways, Try, is there anything you want to say before we head out?
I just want to say like everything that this man has done has been phenomenal. I think the whole hip hop community in the world are gonna see the greatness in him, and it's a pleasure to be calling my friend. And salute to you, Ray, and all the blessings to you. And yo, this was a great episode. I love this.
I appreciate y'all fellas, man. Listen, I always say this to my bros, to my I forgot to tell you too, bro. My people was listening to the playback of a few episodes ago when when I was going crazy about the whole Nas thing, whatever. You get what I'm saying? And I was saying that, listen, man, this guy has a voice, has an unheard voice. That when it's discovered to a certain level, man, it's over. It's over. Like the conversations, like this conversation right here, this whole interview right here is authentic. Whereas though, like I said, it reaches a certain level, man. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Like
Mm-hmm.
this interview right here, I believe this is one of the interviews that's gonna be highlighted even more after the fact. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I love what you're doing right now, brother. You know what I'm saying with movies. I'm surprised you didn't say movie because I would love to discuss certain movies, bro. Like I
Hey
love
man,
Vince's
it's
movies
whatever
too.
you want to come on. We
Yeah.
do it all. Culture, movies, fashion. We're gonna have the brother D Ray back up because he
Oh
wants to
yeah.
talk trash about true religion. So we like to do whatever this is culture.
Right.
Everything in that element. That's what we're building this channel towards. And it's been me and Triborough working hard on it and promoting it and doing what we got to do. We get kickbacks. We get people DMing me like, "How can you say that?" I don't give a fuck. This is what I like. You know what I mean? And that's what we want people to be comfortable. We want you to speak what you want, not
Right.
what the popular pick is going to be.
Right,
You know,
right.
that's what makes it authentic. That's what makes it real. That's what makes it unscripted. You know what I mean? There's no script here. When I make videos, like I make a script. I write
Right,
all that out. You know what I'm saying? So
right, right,
it's different than when we doing this. This I get to be free and say what I want. You know what I mean?
right.
So, and again, I appreciate Triborough, and it's an honor and pleasure, man. I can't wait to check this out.
Same
And
here, my brother. Same here.
I'll be buying that physical copy, all of them. So whenever you drop them,
Listen,
you send me the link.
I make sure you have one, brother. I make sure. Like I said,
But
we
you
live
don't
in
have
a
to
time
give
that
me. I want to
appreciate it.
support. I want to support.
Appreciate
You
it.
ain't got to give me one. I want to support. I'll buy it and
Appreciate it.
definitely check it out because I love my physical media, man. I gotta have it.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yep.
All right, well, we thank all of y'all. Ray, anything you want to say real quick before we head out?
I just want to say this. Like I said, I want to thank both you brothers for the opportunity. You know, Triborough and Pulse. Again, I appreciate it, and to everybody, man. Listen, man. Look, enjoy your life, enjoy the fun, enjoy your family, enjoy what makes you happy. Everything else is just noise.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
That's it. Everything else is just
That's
noise.
wisdom.
Yep.
That's old school hip hop wisdom.
Right.
Yep.
Mhm.
All
Yep.
right, man. Well, we appreciate you. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, man.
And
Appreciate you too.
we are gonna be out of here. Everything will be reposted tomorrow. So if y'all missed it, y'all gonna definitely see that push for the rewatch.
Definitely.
All right, man. Much love to all of y'all brothers.
Salute.
Salute.
Peace.